Hello and welcome back. So glad that I can make your acquaintance once more. This is the table read and I am here with overall legendary mother. My mother here to serve this plate to you in only the way that we can. Moving in, getting it situated, kind of pulling the place together. What you think about where we are so far with the process?
You have done a fabulous job so far.
Thank you.
I know you thought it was going to never happen.
That is, we talk about this. It's like somewhere I felt like I wanted it to and I felt like it would, but then I felt like how though? Because there's so much money that goes into doing it, you know?
Yeah, so, you know, once you kind of get into the process and it happens and you think, oh, wow, it wasn't that bad. But as you're going through that process,
yeah,
it just seems like it takes forever.
And you know what else though? Something that I kind of knew, well, I'm not going to say I knew would happen, but I was aware of it happening. And it's not even just with moving into your own place. But you know, sometimes a woman will have a baby, and then after she has the baby, it's like she wanted the kid, but now she's kind of having PTSD. Or is that the right thing? Not PTSD, but
that is
postpartum
depression.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you know so you see what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm getting what I want, but now it's like, okay, the reality of this is my space, and I need to make sure that I keep it up. I'm responsible for this space. So there's a lot of anxiety that goes along with that, and then also too, just making sure that I don't want to let myself down, my supporters. I don't want to let anyone down because I feel like it's been such a long road to get to this point.
Right.
Now that I'm here, it's almost like, you're looking at the decorations over here?
Mm-hmm.
It's not even finished. It's not even fully done. Like, I just want that wall to have a lot of character and to be representative of me, kind of thing.
Well, I think you've done a really fabulous job. You've got it. I mean, you got nice pieces.
Thank you.
And it looks really good. I like it.
And what's so great about it too, Mommy, is that for the first time I was able to decorate and not console.
Right. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah. So that was different, and it felt good to be able to say, you know what? I saw that and I got it. I didn't have to ask, well, what do you think? Can we make this fresh? Like, you know, where I was living before, when I moved in, it was already kind of decorated. I mean, we did make changes later on,
right. Mm-hmm.
But it was a situation to where I walked into it and it was colors that you had chosen, you know.
I know when we did the house.
Yeah, you did let me choose a color, but remember my first color you said no to.
I did?
You did, but I understand why, and I'm glad you did at this point. But I'm just saying, initially I said black.
Well, oh, yeah. Oh.
I said black at first, but I had a reason why I wanted to do that. But I understood why you didn't want black. But
well, you go ahead and paint this one black.
Well, but actually, while you're saying it, that's true. That is true. But I am going to be painting this wall not black, but like a dark gray.
Mm-hmm.
This wall. Because it's going to give it like a masculine feel, but I also want to tie, you'll see it, it's hard for me to describe. Because then this wall is going to have my bike mounted and 2 mountains. Like, I keep saying it to people, but I know until it's done, it's going to be like, what are you trying to do?
Right.
But it's going to be mine, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to make sense, my coffee table and stuff. I'll be glad when I'm done decorating. Because then I can just save my money. A lot of money goes into decorating. That is not cheap.
It does. It absolutely does, and nothing is cheap today.
Right?
Everything is so expensive. It's like I was in Sam's Club just thinking, you know, I bought a big bag of baking soda.
Yeah.
First time I bought it was like $3 and something. Now it's almost $7. And I mean, so it's almost double the price. Mm-hmm. It's 100% inflation. So,
yeah, it is definitely inflation. And another thing is too, I just, you know, it's so funny because we talk a lot about prices and things going up and
except your salary.
Okay, that's literally the point that I was making. That literally is it.
Except your salary. Everything
the salary
goes up, the rent goes up, the food goes up.
And they somehow expect you to always find a way to pay it. Why is that right and fair?
It isn't.
It isn't, right? Okay.
It really isn't.
By the way, I feel like we're not, we know what's going on. They don't. So we did switch it up for my mom. As you can see, she's rocking a legendary short dude. This is the first stages of her, as you would call it, a big chop. I guess the big chop normally is talking more about like perms, but I guess why can't locks also have a big chop too?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a big chop. We chopped them off.
Yeah, but then we didn't cut them totally off. What we did was we maintained a little bit, because you know with our hair, first of all, her hair is a lot longer than it's looking on the camera. It's just we styled it a certain kind of way, and you really can't, for whatever reason or another, and this is part of the frustration about doing a show, is the fact that I don't know why the camera is not really picking up in full HD it's looking, from what I can see, it looks kind of blurry, which I'm not understanding why that is. But in any case, it's a new transition. I'm very excited to see where it goes, especially as it grows out and we get to see kind of what choices you decide to make with your hair as it grows out. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it was just kind of time. I love the locks. It was hard for me to release them.
Yeah.
But, you know, ultimately I just felt it was important because my hair was falling out. You know, every time I washed my hair, 2, 3, 4 locks would come out at a time. And so I think that was my hair telling me it's time to go ahead and get it cut because it's not healthy. Because it wouldn't be falling. I mean, I know you lose a certain amount of hair, but I was losing a lot of hair. So that was, you know, and then 2, it's because I dyed my hair. You know, when I was in my 40s, someone thought I was a senior citizen, and it was primarily because my hair was salt and pepper. And so,
and she's always, I want to say as long as I've been, when I was a kid, you had already had salt and pepper.
Right.
And she always rocked her salt and pepper. I loved your salt and pepper, to be honest.
Right. Well, it was salt and pepper, and so she was looking at my hair and thinking, oh, you're a senior citizen. She said, ma'am, I think if you come back to the food club on Wednesday, that's Senior Citizen Day. So she was trying to be kind.
Yeah, but girl, if you don't know me like that, you kind of stepping out of pocket, right?
Well, you know, I think she was trying to be kind.
Yeah, she was.
I think she was trying to be kind, and she was trying to be thoughtful. But I thought, do I really look that old because of my hair? And so then I just started dyeing it. And so it's been like 20 years. And so over that period of time, that just weakens your hair, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
And so it was just not healthy. So really the goal is to let the red grow out and over time to let the gray grow in. And I'm 62 years old. No, I'm 63. Yeah,
time is just flying. To be honest, I still don't see you in your 60s.
Right, I'm 63 now. So, I mean, it's okay for me to look 63.
And not only just that, but mommy, you're doing so much to just maintain yourself and to preserve yourself. I just feel like, honestly, my conversation is I just want you to be happy, looking and feeling your best. You're doing primarily all the right things as far as trying to maintain yourself. So to me, I just want you to enjoy that. Because when she told me, I'm trying to remember how you told me. You brought it up to me. Maybe it was through. Did you call me or was it text? I don't remember. I'm trying to remember.
I think
because we spoke.
I think I called you to say, you know, my hair has really just been falling out so badly, and I really want to go ahead and just cut it off. And what do you think? I was asking your opinion, what you thought about it, and you was like, well, if you're gonna do it, let me help you with it.
Yeah, that was my main thing. That actually is true. When she brought it to me, my main thing was, well, if you're gonna do it, let me do it. Because she's my mom, and I just feel like, to me, anybody else would have just probably just cut your hair off and maybe just not even thought about trying to maintain any length or anything, taking the time to really comb. Because what we did was we cut the locks, but then we also combed. We got to a certain point where we started to comb out the lock. So we didn't just cut the lock off. We actually maintained some length there. So she actually had some hair to work with as she got beyond the first stage of this transition. So for me, I knew that I was going to take the time to make sure that it looked how it needed to look. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know, once the red grows out and all this, that, and the fourth, I feel like you'll definitely feel much better about it once it's all in uniform. But this is just stage one. I remember when I first decided that I was going to grow my hair. If you even go back into my older videos, you can see how that stage looked. Not the best. Yeah. But I knew where I was going with it. Right. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to endure this because I know ultimately it's going to be what I want.
Right. It's going to be a lot better in the long run.
Exactly. So that's where we are with you right now. And I'm just, as long as you are happy and I just want you feeling good.
Oh, and well, I've been struggling with work. You know, work has been difficult.
Okay.
You know. But in other areas of my life, things are going well. So we just have to, you know, make the adjustment. And really with the hair, really, I like the short hair. I probably would not have cut my hair if it was staying healthy.
Okay.
But the fact that it was just, you know, not healthy, and then I couldn't lubricate it enough. It just was so dry.
And then also, you know, my mom is Muslim, so that's part of it too. Because see, what it is, okay, just us being people of African descent, that means we just have kinky hair, just to start. So the oil has a problem sometimes even just coating the actual hair, the scalp and everything properly, just because of the texture right here, which is not, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own thing. But in any case, on top of that, we're doing locks, which absorb even more moisture. Right. So now we're talking our natural hair texture on top of that locks. And in her case, she had a triple whammy because she has our kinky hair, plus you have locks, plus you have the scarves, which she would wrap over her head, you know, throughout the day for her head wraps, which I felt I totally understood it. It made perfect sense because this is who she is. But then I also saw that it was hurting her hair. Now here's something. I saw a movie called The Big Sick Love Sick. I don't know, something. This Big Sick, The Big Sick. It's a love. I'm not gonna say what happens because it's actually a very good movie. And
it's on Netflix.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I have Amazon Prime.
Good, watch it. You'll love it.
The Big Six.
The Big Sick, like you're sick, you're ill, but it's not. I'm not gonna spoil it because you know who was thinking. Well, anyway, we'll talk about that later. But in any case, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. It's a good movie, and I think especially for you, it's a tearjerker. I was like,
yeah, I like tearjerkers.
I don't normally cry through too many movies, but that one was one of those type of films.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Because to me, there's a Muslim part of the story. Okay. Half of the cast is like Muslim, the other half is white.
Okay.
But why I even mention that movie was to say, now these Muslims, just to show you, I need that to get off my screen, just to show you that there's different, and you know this, but just to reiterate, there's different kinds of Muslims because this woman, it was like Indian, Muslim, but they didn't wear scarves. Her daughters, they wore the whole outfit, but not the hair.
Oh, really? Oh.
And I've seen a lot, and I'm starting to see other Muslims do that. I don't know why. It's something that there's different kinds because it just depends on whether you're more conservative or progressive. Right. You don't necessarily have to be super.
Well, actually, at my age, because once you get to a certain age, you don't necessarily have to.
Really?
Oh yeah. Once you get to a certain age. So I mean, I never
heard that.
As you know, the age of not, you know, getting married, and plus I'm married, which I'm very pleased about.
Exactly. Alhamdulillah, right? Which everything is going great.
Oh yeah, he's fabulous.
Good.
That is.
We've never talked about that on camera, have we?
We have not.
You mind if we talk about that?
Oh, we can.
So the thing about it, which, you know, obviously, clearly she's here, and even beyond that, you guys already listen to my mom, so we're going to be fine. But the point was, initially, the way that it happened, I wasn't necessarily happy with. But then, like I told them, ultimately, I want you to be happy. That's really what it boils down to for me. Because at first I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe she came here, and girl, this was her chance to tell me what was going on, but then she didn't. You know, and then he, you know, the whole thing.
Well, you know, see, the main thing was because of my history, I've been married a number of times.
Yeah.
And primarily because I am Muslim, I don't get involved before my marriage. And because I've married fairly quickly, some of the choices haven't been the best. And so I know with my sons especially, they were really having a lot of questions about me marrying the man that I'm married to now because we did not know each other for a very long time. So, you know, my intention was to wait.
Sure.
My intention was to let it be a year, but, you know, I knew really within a week or two that he was someone that I really wanted to spend my time with because he's just a very kind and loving person. And he's unlike any man that I've ever been with. So I could see that early on.
What I will say is this. Now, I love you. So this is going to be, it'll end on a high note, what I'm about to say. Now, if I had met him and had time to talk with him on my own, you saying that doesn't sound much different from the speech you gave about the other people. I love you. But what makes this different is that he seems different. The choice seems different. The words are similar, like you're saying a similar thing, like, oh, I think this is the one. But what's different is the actual person you chose. Because he doesn't do what you think some men do, where it's like, okay, he's in front of you, he's nice to me. When you're not there, he still was giving me tips on my car. Okay, you want to make sure you do this to the car, you want to make sure you do that. Like, he'll tell me little things to be aware of with my car. Like, he's still social, he'll still talk about, like, aliens and stuff. You know, which I like, because you know I like to go there. But, so that's what made me feel different about it. I didn't like how it went, as far as how it went down. But then I thought,
you didn't like the fact that I knew I was going to get married.
Right. Because even if I wouldn't have liked what you said when you came to my house, at least I would have felt like you were telling it to me to my face. Right. You know, and then I probably would have been like, oh, I can't believe. Maybe I wouldn't have been rude because he was there.
You know something. See, here was the whole thing for me. Was that I had already said to you guys, I'm going to wait, blah blah blah, and now I knew you were going to be upset because I didn't wait. And so I was like, I don't feel like getting into a big thing. I want you to.
But you should also know me well enough to know that of all your kids, I feel I'm the most reasonable.
Yeah, that's true.
So I felt that why it was hurtful to me is because I felt like, you're right, I probably would not have liked it. But you also know me well enough to know that I would have gotten over myself and been like, okay.
Yeah,
but that's okay. Like I say, you know what the truth is. I feel like what you're saying is true. The response that you thought you were going to get, that's fair. Like my thing is, I don't know how I would have handled that if I were in that same predicament. Maybe I would have done the same thing. Who knows? So I don't want to be. That's one of the reasons too, because I feel like I understood the pressure that you were under, and everybody's looking, and as far as the family is concerned.
Right.
So I understood that, and I'm just like, I don't want to be that person. Like, if this is it for real, and this is what you're gonna do, I feel like I would just much rather be on. As long as he's treating you how you want and you're happy, I'd rather be on your side of it than to just be like my ego and being mad because it didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. Speaking of being okay with transitions, I don't know if I told you this. Maybe I did. Maybe I did not. So you know my Job Corps brother, Michael, Kentucky.
Michael.
Or you know what I call him, Spectacular. That's how you know him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you said Michael, like...
Michael, you know what it is? Because in Job Corps, we all had, like, aliases, and his was Spectacular. Okay. That's right.
I know Spectacular. I never knew his name was Michael.
Oh, well, it's not Michael anymore because now it's Michelle.
Oh, okay.
Did I tell you about that?
No.
He's transitioning. Isn't that interesting? He's the first person. I've known many transgender people, but he is the first transgender that is close to me that is talent that came out and told me that.
Really? So what? Because was he moving in that direction?
Well, when I first met her, because I'm trying to get used to the pronouns early. Because by the time she comes up here, I want to just be ready to say she, her, and all that. Isn't that interesting? It's crazy. But here's the thing about it. So when I first met her, she did not give me that vibe. Right. Not that I would have had an issue with it at all, but it's just that's not what I got. That he was just kind of like me, a gay man that's kind of feminine. Okay. So that's kind of what I thought it was, which again is neither here nor there. But anyway, he mentioned, remember that time when he came to Atlanta that one time, all those years back when we were supposed to go to California together? Right. But then he fell in love and stayed in Florida? Right. Okay. That trip, when he came up there, he told me that he thought he was transgender.
Oh, okay.
And he got dressed in drag that night.
Okay, you didn't.
I didn't tell you about all that? No, you didn't tell me he told me then, but he didn't really he mentioned it, and I was willing to support him then. But because he let it go, I thought maybe it was a phase.
Right, just a phase.
Because he mentioned it, but then nothing happened.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, I would see him on Facebook, I would see her on Facebook, and then I would see maybe one picture would be in women's clothes, but then another one would be in men's clothes.
Okay, so
it was hard to know what was really happening there.
What was going on, for real.
But I never mentioned it because I felt like when she was ready to address something like that, she would address it. But so many years had passed, I forgot about it. Mm-hmm. I actually just forgot.
So I didn't even know that you were still kind of communicating with her. Mm-hmm. So how when did she...
About the transition? Mm-hmm. Like, when did she make the decision?
Right.
I suspect she's made the decision a long time ago. As far as when she's choosing to do something about it, I think maybe in the last few months.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So she came to me, and I can remember, I'm paraphrasing, but something like maybe I said something about my Job Corps brother, maybe. Oopsie, hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Don't want that to go off for too long. But I think maybe I said something about my Job Corps brother, and she said something like, well, your Job brother is going to be your Job Corps sister soon, or something to that effect. So it was a very subtle way of saying it. But then we got into the conversation, and my main thing is, you wonder why I even mentioned that whole thing was to tie it back into you.
Okay.
I love her. I love you. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, my purpose is not to hinder you from your happiness. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. As your friend, I'm here to support you and uplift you through your transition. I'm not here to dictate how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to go. Mm-hmm. when the thing happened, I think at first I was annoyed. I was like, I can't believe, da, da, da. But when I had time to think, I thought, okay, but the bottom line is, if this is the love of her life, truly, I guess when you think about it in the bigger scope of things, whether she got married today or next year, if this is the person she's going to be with, you're going to be with that person.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So the time really doesn't matter. And if it's right, then you know it's right. So I really just wanted to get out of my own way as far as being able to be there for you in that way. Because, like I told you, for me, I'd rather us be on good terms and you be happy than, because it's your life too. It wasn't like you picked someone for me in 2 weeks or 3 months or however long it was. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what you're doing. Like, I feel like, in me having met him, I like him.
Yeah, he really is. He's got a good spirit. Mm-hmm. He's got a good spirit. I mean, it's like today, he's been driving me since
the car accident.
I have had the car accident. That's been since November.
Mm.
And by the way, the money finally came.
You got the check?
I got the check on Monday.
Yes. So now what? When do you roll again?
I really haven't had the time to
shop around.
To shop around yet.
Was it a decent check?
It was over $9,000.
Oh, you are good.
It was over.
Oh, I'm so happy for you, mommy. Good.
And so anyway, we're on our way to Arizona.
Both you and okay, good.
We're both on our way to Arizona to see the new grandbaby.
Yeah.
And so we haven't had time to go ahead and do that, but that is first thing on the agenda. But anyway, I was just saying, this morning. My husband takes all my stuff to the car and get the car nice and warm for me, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then we're on our way, we're halfway to the school when I noticed I did not bring my phone. I said, oh, shucks, I didn't bring my phone. He said, oh, well, where'd you leave it? I said, I think I left it charging at home. He said, well, do you want me to bring it back to school? I was like, baby, no. You don't, because it's about 25 miles to my school. So he brings me to work, goes back home. He's going to bring my phone up there just so I would have my phone.
That's very sweet.
Because he's very thoughtful that way.
Yeah, he is.
He's very thoughtful that way. But I'm like, no, I'll just have to suffer without it because I don't want you driving all the way back.
And he would have done it too.
He would have.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have said, oh yeah, I need my phone, he would have done it. But I didn't want him to do that because, that's just a waste of gas and I could live a day without my phone.
Right, we've been doing it in Arizona all that time.
Right.
But I understand what you're saying.
But I'm just saying, he is very thoughtful that way. In the mornings, he'll go put the heat on because my bathroom can be very cold. Mm-hmm. He'll put the heat on just so I can be warm. I mean, he does little things, the little things that make a big difference. I
agree. That's important, though, those little things.
Those little things that are so important, they're so sweet and thoughtful.
I agree. Mm-hmm. See, that's what I feel like I want.
Yeah.
I feel like, you would know why I feel like I deserve it? Because that's what I do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So shouldn't I get it too?
Yes.
And
see, that's the way that I have always been.
Yeah.
Being thoughtful that way. But it was reciprocated.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I'm with someone who
you both.
Right. Yeah, he reciprocates it.
That's a good feeling.
And it is. It's just he's very thoughtful. He's very kind.
See, I told you it wasn't too late. Like, it wasn't too late.
I think this is the year of the older women because a lot of my older friends that are my age in their 60s, who've been single for longer than me. I was single for 4 years? Mm-hmm. And like 10 years and, longer than that. They've been single, have gotten married. So I say this is the year of the older woman.
Well, good. and our older sisters deserve that.
Yeah.
We all deserve love.
We all deserve love.
So
it's never too late.
It's not. And I'm very happy for you. I know that we got to make this be a short episode because there's a lot going on. My mom has to fly out of the state on tomorrow.
Right.
And then, of course, her husband is actually is he in the driveway?
Yeah, he's waiting for me.
He's currently this entire episode, he's been out waiting for my mom after her hair appointment that we did. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go out there and thank him as well for his patience. But I want to thank you for taking the time to do my show. I've been trying to do this for a while, especially it was like, there's no reason I can't do a show. I'm under her roof and then we're so close. But you finally made it onto the show. I wanted to update them with you and just kind of talk and chit chat for a little while. And
it's been lovely.
And I'm glad you like my place and you like the direction it's going.
I do.
2 friends came over and they all said, like so many people. They both said, but they both said, right. They both said that they totally see where I'm going. They're like, this is your, like, we see it. Like, as I was breaking it down, they were like, we see it. And that made me happy because for the first time in my life, I'm able to take 100% control of my life and to do it my way. So when someone comes in and they say they like it, they like what I did, 100%. Like, it's nobody had any input on my curtains, my rod, all my accoutrement, what I have, my speaker, my TV, I chose it. And it's just a very proud moment for me. I just think it's a little scary a little bit because it's like I've wanted it for so long now. I'm here and it's like I don't even believe. Like, this is my couch, my stuff. This is mine. I'm still getting used to that feeling, but I thank you for allowing me. That's another thing also. Thank you for letting me stay. I mean, obviously I know that you always say, you know, have the door open, etc. But I do appreciate you allowing me to come when I needed to just camp out while I was trying to figure out what was happening with my one apartment in Buckhead. Wasn't that so annoying? That whole thing, and they're still sending me stuff now. I moved on.
Wow.
Remember how hard we tried? That really drained me too. Because that took so much out of me. Wanting that so bad, knowing I could afford it, and then having to go through so many hoops. But then this place came through.
Yeah. And I'm glad because this is close to me and it's a nice apartment. It's nice. And it's a nice area. Mm-hmm. Once you kind of get yourself out and kind of see what's there.
I know. I need to. And I'm going to, Mommy. I promise I am. Yeah. But listen, I don't want to hold you. I want to thank you again for coming to the show because I know it's getting late and he's out there waiting. So we're going to close this show out, you all. We're going to release my mom. Thank you again for showing up. Yes. You all already know the drill. Via Sebla Angelita Galisan, the best will always come through. And just always until next time, baby. That's all there is. You want to say bye to the family? Yes. Bye. Thank you, guys. That was awesome. Thank you, Mommy.